This is the Altitude Daily Podcast. Everything you can't miss from today on Altitude Sports Radio. Moser, Lombardi, and Kane.
And that's why I completely disagree with you. If CSU loses by 16, it's not even our first story this morning. It's not. Correct? Correct?
Correct.
Yes or no?
Probably.
Yes or no?
Yeah, probably
okay.
not.
So tell me what's more painful again. Losing by 16 or
Yeah,
losing
but
at the buzzer?
you weren't asking what's more painful. You're asking, like, look, I think it can be painful and preferable, if that makes sense. I want to know my team was in it. I don't want my team to get their asses kicked.
It's always the close shaves. It's always the buzzer beater. It's always the walk-off homer. It's always the sudden death goal. It's always that. That hurts more than all of them because you remember more of them.
You act like I'm on an island here. I don't think I am. I don't think that people want their team to get to the Super Bowl and lose the way the Broncos did against the Seahawks. I don't think that they want that.
I would rather, make it a straw poll. You want to make it a straw poll? I'd rather get blown out than lose at the buzzer. Yeah.
Not 1 ounce of me wants that. Not one.
You'd rather snap the ball over your head for a safety and then proceed to get your ass kicked for the next 4 quarters.
Yes. In Nuggets and T-Wolves, I'd rather get swept in the second round than lose in Game 7 the way they did. Yeah.
I don't believe you.
I just said it 5 times.
What's the pain that hurts the most?
I would rather lose by a lot than by a little.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why this is hard to understand.
Would you rather have your butt kicked or have your heart ripped out? Which one? Because this to me is not even a question. I do not want my team to get blown out. I want to have like an ounce of fun. I want to have an ounce of fun while watching my team.
I want to look back on it and say, you know what? We gave it a damn good effort.
Yeah.
We played well. They just made one more shot than us.
We
went out there and we got waffle stomped all over the damn floor.
That's how
by
I want
36.
Yeah.
We were never in the game.
Nope, don't want it
my
that
mom
way.
was wearing a bag over her head in the stands. My old man was on the concourse getting hammered and smoking darts. I mean, I don't want that memory.
I would rather get my butt kicked and say, damn it, just wasn't our day. Let's try this again. Than having victory, the cusp of victory. The fruit of victory. You're biting from the fruit of victory. You've taken one bite. You're imagining yourself in the Sweet 16 for the first time since before I was born. March of 1969. The last time CSU went to the Sweet 16. It was right there for the taking, and then they took it away. That hurts more than anything.
The Altitude Daily. The Morning Sprint.
Wasn't a travel.
Yes. And in college basketball, travels get called. Travels get called.
KJ, you got something to say back there?
Yeah, go ahead, KJ.
It's definitely not a travel. It's not a travel. That first step he takes is a gather step. 1, 2, that third step, if he's going up with the shot, it doesn't count as a travel. That's the new basketball rule.
No, that's the new NBA where they don't call travel. You know what they do in college basketball? They call the fouls that occur. The missteps. What happened in the Duke North Carolina ACC championship game or quarterfinal?
Lane
semifinal.
violation.
Lane violation.
Semifinal.
Is that a lane violation in the NBA, KJ?
Probably not.
No, it's not. Right. So, how many steps did you just talk about? Say it again.
So it's a total of 4 steps.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's it. We're done. We're done here. A total of 4 steps. 4 steps. I grew up playing basketball. That's a travel. 4 freaking steps is a travel. How many are we allowed? 2! Freaking 2!
Coach is out. My good God. I didn't think it was
What say ye, Raj?
in real time. Was I screaming at the referee to call travel? No. I wasn't. When I watched it over replay and it was in slow motion, I started yelling because, and I do find this, right? Like, Coach is right. They do call that travel in college on the gather more often than they do in the NBA. They do. But in real time, no. I didn't think it was egregious. I thought it was a great shot. Unfortunately, CSU leaves a little bit too much time on the table, and it goes by the wayside.
The Altitude Daily. Columbus, Hastings, and DMAC.
Did CSU get a raw deal? As we get back from the weekend with plenty of stuff to talk about with the Avs and the Nuggets, and See you, Nico. It's Minnesota. We'll get to that in a second. But the biggest question really is, did CSU get screwed?
That depends if you're a letter of the law guy. You're a letter of the law guy, they got screwed. You hey, that ain't been called in about 8 years? No, they didn't. I mean, in the moment, it was so raw and emotional that, yeah, you want someone to blame, right? But that thing hasn't been called in years, and I tweeted it out.
What was the call? Because I watched it. I don't.
Oh,
it was a non-call. It was a non-call. It was a gather in 2 steps, and
on the winning shot.
Yeah,
yeah. When he did that, ooh, that's travel. I did say that. I didn't know that was a big deal.
Was how the game was decided? That was the end.
Well, it was a shot to one, but ain't no official in the history of the world, unless it's just super blatant, is ever going to call that.
But letter of the law, it is a travel. In NCAA, you are not allowed to gather
Jump stop
step.
is 1 foot. You can take one more step after that, but if you go jump, pat, it's supposed to be a travel.
Right. It absolutely was 3 steps. There's no question about it that there was 3 steps without a dribble.
The CSU got a raw deal, and you can't
BYU nearly got a raw deal.
We can talk all about that. I was there for that one. That was something else. That was a trip.
He blatantly threw the yoke.
We'll get to that.
Who
in a second.
cares about BYU? I'm kidding.
It was. We'll get to that in a second. But I think CSU got a raw deal. I think they are taking the high road. Like, here it is. Like, you can't believe. All right, 1, 2,
No, he's
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah, probably should have traveled.
That's a travel.
I mean, it's 3 steps.
And what I love is the defense. 1, 2, we're good. 1, 2, travel.
Now go back to the very beginning.
And
because
that's a hell of a shot, though.
It's a hell of a shot. And great defense, too, because you couldn't foul because you're only down 1.
Now I can't see stupid computers, by the way, but
1,
people are also
2, 3.
complaining that off the pivot he traveled. I never saw it. I'm curious to see it right
let's
here.
See it one more time. We'll see if off the pivot. No.
Yeah, he's got the ball down. 1, 2, 3. Great shot. Look up top. 1 fractions of seconds. Buzzer.
Damn. You know that dude's never made a game-winning shot before?
Well, now he has.
His teammate was saying after the game, I wouldn't give him the ball if I knew that.
And then Lake from CSU hits that just unbelievable 3.
Nails.
To give him a 1-point lead. So did CSU get a raw deal? Now you've seen it. We've all seen
it was
here.
a travel. Should have been called. That being said, I've never seen an official call travel on a guy that's in a play like that.
The Altitude Daily. Kreckman and Lindahl.
What calls do you want called? Like, what should be? Do we just? Is everything out of bounds at the end of a game? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Okay, so
like what hits the category of this is going to get called, don't do it? You know what I'm saying?
No, I know.
Because all sports have that level.
I don't.
I understand a travel is one of them. You ain't, unless you go 4 steps, unless you cross half court and run like it's the dunk contest, they're not calling a travel.
I don't want that travel called at any time in the game.
Okay.
I don't care if it's the last second. I don't care if it's the opening minute of the game. I don't want that travel called. That's a gathering too. Okay? In college, by the rule, by the letter of the college law, that's a travel. In the NBA, it's not. I don't want it called. And more college officials call it similar to what it is in the NBA, and I don't want that called. Okay? Derek Queen picked up the ball on his right, went left, right, and shot. Okay? I don't ever want that called. But I am also like, and maybe I'm a traitor to my generation as a mid-40s dorky dude, okay? But, like, I don't want traveling called. I don't want carrying called, all right? Like, I
get that,
I want the game to flow. I want the greatest athletes in the world to excel and put on a damn show and entertain me. I don't need every one of the last damn peach basket rules to still exist. I don't want it to look like Bob Cousy is out there dribbling the ball around, bent over at the waist, staring at the basketball.
Looking like Stanley in The Office, dribbling that thing. One hand out.
I don't need any of that, and so no, I don't want that called in that moment. But also, I don't want that travel called ever. And I'm glad that the travel wasn't called. I'm glad that the officials looked at it and said, make the bucket, and the kid made the bucket.
He did, and it was a tough shot.
It's a tough shot, and all credit in the world to Ethan Morton. You're guarding a future NBA dude, and you're Ethan Morton, and you've had a fun college basketball career, and you did some cool things at Purdue, and you came to CSU, and you played your reserve role perfectly, but also in the end, the future NBA dude whose NIL deal probably looks a little bit better than yours, that dude's going to get that bucket. And that's how it goes, and they allowed him to catch, and they didn't double and didn't force the ball out of his hands, and he made the shot.
You've been listening to the Altitude Daily. Catch us live weekdays on 92.5 FM, the Altitude Sports Radio app, twitch.tv/AltitudeSR, youtube.com @Altitude Sports Radio, and your favorite smart speaker. Say Altitude Sports Radio.